welcome to another Meditation Monday. I'm Daniel Wellard. Thank you for joining me. As ever, these meditations can relax you deeply, so please make sure you're in a place where you can safely relax and you're not driving or operating any heavy machinery or doing anything else that's not conducive to relaxation and meditation. With that said, I invite you to get nice and comfortable. Cross your legs, lay down, sit in a chair. Really doesn't matter, just so long as you're comfortable. And you're in a place where you won't be disturbed for the next 20 minutes. Close your eyes, go inside, and get ready for today's journey. Taking your attention to your breath and just allowing any worries or concerns to drift away. Noticing how when you put your attention internally, those worries and stresses seem to naturally drift away. Our breath is our most direct way of communicating with our nervous system. So by concentrating on breathing deeply, we are communicating to our nervous system that it is safe, that we can relax, and that we can move from fight and flight into rest and digest. Taking a few conscious breaths now, in and out. Just becoming aware of any internal sensations that you're feeling. Any external sounds, anything happening in your environment, just allowing it to be there. It's all part of this moment after all. Noticing how much more relaxed you feel now after a few conscious breaths than you did when we first started. Now, if you really want to enhance the relaxation, all you need to do is make that out breath a few seconds longer than the in breath. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Once again, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get the idea. Just carrying on with that rhythm for a few more breaths now. Between 6 and 8 breaths is enough to have a physiological effect. It's enough to communicate to your nervous system and get you in that parasympathetic state, that rest and digest state, that state where everything slows down. That's right, really starting to feel it now. Just allowing yourself to relax. As soon as you've taken a few more breaths, with that extended out breath, you can allow your breathing just to find its natural rhythm. Noticing your body relaxing and sinking into the chair or the bed. Noticing how your thoughts are slowing down. That's right. Noticing any recurrent thoughts. Noticing the quality of your thoughts. Are they happy thoughts? I hope so. Are they thoughts about the past? Are they thoughts about the future? Are they thoughts about things you wish to change? Are they thoughts about things that you have any control over at all? Just notice them. Your internal landscape, your internal thoughtscape. See, we all have these different bodies, these different energetic bodies. We have our physical body, which we can relax now through our breathing. We have our emotional body that we feel into, we react from. We have our mental body, quality of our thoughts, the things we want. Our mental body affects our emotional body affects our physical body, and vice versa. Our physical body can affect our emotions affect our mental. That goes all the way up to the astral and the spiritual. Like ripples rippling out from ourselves, from the physical to the emotional to the mental to the astral and the spiritual. Just becoming aware. Inhaling and exhaling. Now, with all this in mind, I'd like you to consider a mistake that you made in the past. Something that didn't pan out that you've been blaming yourself for, or something that you consider your fault. Perhaps it was your fault, something you did wrong, a mistake you made that either hurt you or hurt someone else or made a situation worse. Something that you carry with you that tends to bring you down, that you beat yourself up over a little bit. We've all got them. And just find one of those. And now, from this place of wisdom, from this place of where you now are, this place of hindsight, I just want you to send some compassion and forgiveness back to that version of yourself. The mistake is made. The problem occurred. The situation happened. Understand that you did the best you could back then. Hindsight is 20/20. Even if you did act out of character, or you did do something that was malicious or ignorant or whatever, at that time you did the best you could. In the future, you can choose to do better. The important thing is that you learn from that mistake, is that you learned from that experience. The thing is done. The punishment was the negative consequences that came from that mistake. And so long as you've learned from it and you've decided not to repeat that mistake, there's no point holding on to it anymore. I wonder if you can allow that guilt and shame, whatever the negative emotion, to fall away now. If you struggle with this, just imagine you're speaking to a friend or a child or someone you care deeply about. Imagine they had made a similar mistake. What would you say to them? What advice would you give to them? Would you berate them for years and years and years and years? Or would you tell them it's time to move on, it's time to let go? It was wrong, don't do it again, do better next time, learn and grow. You see, when negative things happen and the negative emotions come up, the guilt, the shame, the self-loathing, it's just telling us that we've missed the mark. If you really want to make an amends, then changed behaviour is the only way. So I want you to imagine forgiving yourself completely now, as you would forgive a child or a friend. Send that version of yourself, that ignorant version of yourself that made that mistake, compassion and love. Thank them, in fact, for the knowledge that you gained. Thank them for the lesson. And now with that lesson, with that knowledge, how can you project that forward into the future? Imagine yourself coming against similar circumstances now. Based on what you now know, In what way would you behave differently? In what ways can you improve? How can you do things better, kinder, with more competence, more grace, more skill? That's right. Really take the lesson out of that negative situation from years ago, weeks ago, months ago, whenever it was, decades ago. Imagine it as a suitcase you've been carrying, baggage that you've literally been carrying. Set that baggage down, open it up and take only what's important, only the lesson, only what's important. Leave the guilt and the shame. You've felt that already. That was only telling you there was something to learn. Now take the lesson and move forward with it. If the situation is still ongoing and there's something that you can do to make it better, be that in way of apology or action or changed behaviour, you can do that. But if it's a situation that's long gone, take only what's important from it and apply that lesson to the future as learned experience, as applied knowledge. Imagine yourself doing that now. Sometime in the future, coming up against a similar situation and acting with integrity. Acting in a way that you can be proud and that you can feel good about afterwards. Even if it's a difficult situation, there's a correct way to handle things. And you now know what that correct way is because you learned the lesson. Nothing is wasted. Everything can be applied. So now as you walk forward with that lesson, with that knowledge, really, really forgive yourself and let go of the baggage, the guilt, the shame, the pain that you still carry. Let that go, as that serves no one. Forgiving yourself as you would your friend or your child. Someone that knew no better. Knowing that you did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. You did the best you could with the knowledge you had. Things could not have been any different. They happened the way they happened. And the consequences were felt and lived. Now you can take that knowledge and lesson forward with you into your future. Pain, after all, is the price of experience. And experience leads to wisdom. You can't be wise without experience. And you can't be experienced without the pain of learning the lessons. Everything happened as it was supposed to in the timeline of your life. Forgive yourself now. Be kind and compassionate to that version of yourself that knew no better. Thank that version of yourself for gaining the experience that today makes you wise. Let that shit go. With the knowledge that good things can grow out of shit. In fact, a certain amount of shit is required for good things to grow. It's fertilizer. The mistakes of your past are the fertilizer of your future. Let the good things grow. Water them, cultivate them, nurture them. Go forth and make different mistakes. Gain new lessons. Trust yourself not to make the same mistake. Trust yourself to learn the lesson. Trust yourself to gain the wisdom. Let go of the past mistakes. Forgive yourself now. It could have been no other way. But it can be different in the future. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing your mind back to the here and now. Back to the rhythm of your breath. Letting go of that old event. Leaving the baggage. Taking only what is useful. Sending that version of yourself compassion and forgiveness. Thanking them for learning the lesson of that experience so that you can now have the wisdom. Inhaling and exhaling. It's time to move on. It's time to let go. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes now. Becoming aware of the noises in the room, the temperature on your skin, the rhythm of your breath. Coming all the way back to the here and now. Whenever you're ready, allowing your eyes to open. That's right, coming all the way back. feeling good, feeling positive, feeling settled. We all make mistakes. The important thing is to learn the lesson, not to make them again. Have a good one. I'll see you next time. Please like, comment and subscribe if you found this useful. Take care. Bye.